Hello everyone, Artemu the Violet Wizard here, and today we are continuing Super Mario World! And if things go as planned, this should be the final session we have of this game. Last time we cleared up all the secret pathways we could have taken between Vanilla Dome and the Valley of Bowser, which really wasn't a whole lot of stuff we had to go over, but still a lot of good content nonetheless. And before we head off to what's going to be the final main chunk of our post-game adventure, there's one last secret pathway we need to take care of before we are all finished with the main game of Super Mario World. Just before we go into this right quick, I want to call attention to the fortresses and castles on the map. So every time you beat a castle and a fortress, they get demolished like that, and you aren't able to enter them normally like other levels. However, if you press the L and the R button together when you are over a destroyed castle or fortress, you're able to go back to these levels at any time you want to replay them. I feel like that's a very nice touch. It's something I didn't really know as a kid, but it's a nice tip if you're ever looking to revisit those specific levels. With all that said, it's time to head into the Valley Ghost House, as I believe this is the site of one last secret pathway we can take on our adventure. Sure, we'll grab the Fire Flower and just place that, just so I can have it in reserve in case I need it. But yeah, we are quickly coming to the end of our adventure here in Super Mario World. What I believe I want to do here is take the P-switch this way. We'll take the hit, sure. Don't think we have to be around here. Just know that at some point we can find this door over here, and that takes us to this area. And what do I want to do here? So I think what I want to do is trying to think about this. That's probably not going to be helpful to us in any way. I'm trying to think about this because I know that there is a secret entrance in this level. It's been a long time since I've actually done this, so I don't think we'll be able to do anything there. I think what I want is to actually go this way and try to get as far into these doors as I can if we can get to the last door. Alright, by doing that, we are now able to access this area. Alright, so I want to quickly take our P-switch over here. Oh, that's a one-time use. Huh. Okay, that is a little unfortunate. Let's hop back in here and then do that again. I was kind of thinking about what we had to do for this level, but yeah, it is a very tricky puzzle you have to solve. Definitely one of the more out there solutions to one of the puzzles you can get here. Just gotta make sure you get to the door at the end of this corridor above all else. It's nice you can get a 1-up there for free. So we'll take our P-switch and bring you this way. Hit that, and just want to build a... Essentially, we're building a coin staircase over this way in order to make sure that we have a clear path up here. So now we take our P-switch, hit that, and that turns the coins into blocks. And you can see where we need to go here. Okay. So now I got a general idea on where we need to go for that. And we should hopefully be able to get that very soon. I'm a little worried about how things are going to be running here for this session, because I have seen a little bit of a stutter on our performance here, but hopefully things go well, because I really don't want to have to repeat things. We're going into some of the more interesting levels of this adventure. It's definitely been a while since we've gotten to see a ton of stuff. This. Alright, so I want to think about the right location for this. So I want to try to do like a staircase formation. And that should do it, I think. Let's hit that. Look here, and oh, you kidding me? Yep, I said that this was a tricky one. I said this was tricky. Alright, let's grab our fire flower here, so we can have a mushroom in reserve. But yeah. So, we got quite a bit to do in this session, and very much looking forward to getting this series wrapped up. Not just because it's one of my favorite games of all time, and it's been really fun getting to experience this game again, but I still have my plans for what I'm going to be doing after all of these, after this series. I want to say I have an idea on what my next stream series is going to be. Why do I do this to myself? At this rate, this entire session is just going to be me trying to get this one frickin' coin staircase puzzle. But yeah, as I was just saying, I have everything I need prepped for our next stream series, which I'm definitely very excited for. Got a flower. It's a little interesting because in order to get things set up, I accidentally downloaded the French version of the game that I was going to play next, which is a little interesting, all things considered. I mean, I spoke a bit of French, took some lessons in that, obviously, when I was a kid. Okay, I think that might do it. As I said before, this is a tricky bit to do properly. There we go. If we could just crouch in there. Actually, could you hit me, bud? Appreciate that. Oh! Come the frick on! It might be worth it just to stay small in this area, just so we can get this properly. We're so close to doing that, too. Yeah, I'm just going to completely ignore that failed attempt. I am so out of practice when it comes to getting this specific secret. Yeah, I want to get this because I want to show off all of the alternate pathways you can take for the levels. And this one definitely counts. Alright, managed to get past that one. Let's grab the one up. I mean, it's definitely been pretty good for farming the lives we need for the next set of levels we're going to be doing, because, oh boy, there's going to be some stuff ahead of us. A lot of trials for us to take going forward. So I want to say that should be good. Let's take a hit from this guy just so that we're small enough to fit in that crevice. And that should do it. There we go. Finally managed to get up there. It only took like 10 minutes of the stream session. So yep, that is an alternate pathway you can get to Larry's castle without having to go through these two levels in between the ghost house. That's a fine enough shortcut, all things considered. But now that we got that taken care of, it is time to make the journey all the way back to the very start of our adventure, or at least close to the start of it. So we're going to need to, well, we're going to be starting things off in an area we could have accessed so much earlier on, as we have finally cleared every last secret pathway in the game, which means it's time to explore one of the new worlds that we could access by taking these secret pathways. So all throughout the game, we've been unlocking the pathways to those stars, which are the entrance to one of the new worlds that we now have access to. And it is finally time to dive into the Star Road. So as you can imagine, this is a brand new area, the Star World. It's completely disconnected from anything to do in the main game. You don't even have to go to this area to beat the game, but it can be very helpful to take these pathways, because not only are you able to unlock shortcuts to other sections of the map and give you access to other levels because of that, but there's some other goodies that can be accessed in the levels in Star World. As you can see here, every level here has an alternate pathway, and we're going to be showing off as many of these alternate pathways as we go. Starting off with Star World 1. So this is the level immediately accessible by taking the Star Road in the Donut Plains. You have to clear the secret ghost house in the Donut Plains to be able to access this area. And it's kind of a simple level. You just have to do the... it's all about using your spin jump to be able to break these blocks. And you just kind of have to strategize what your route through this area is going to be in order to try to get as many goodies that are in this area. So it can be a little tricky to try to get everything if you don't know what's ahead of you. But otherwise, you should have a decent time getting through here. You got a 1-up right off the bat, that's good. And yeah, obviously, there is a secret exit in this area, so you definitely want to watch out for that. There's some Koopas we could take out here to get some extra points. Also, a lot of dragon coins here, which can be helpful for getting some nice, tasty lives as well. Whoa. Alright, I can just take the hit there. At the bottom of that area is a pipe. And by doing that, we have cleared the first exit. Very nice. So here's the thing about the Star World. Getting the regular exit in a level does not open up a new pathway. It just takes you back to the Star Road exit that you were last at for that level. So in order to get through here, we need to take a specific pathway through the level in order to find the secret. And we're gonna have to take a few tries for this area just to be able to see which of the pathways we need to take. So I think I want to be around this area, I want to say. Yeah, this is an interesting level. Not really what I would call one of the best ones in the game, obviously. It's probably something for us. I don't know if it's this end of the level. At least, oh, would you look at that? So this is a new mechanic that we haven't actually gotten to see. This is a baby Yoshi. And it's a different color from the Yoshis we've been seeing throughout the game, because this baby Yoshi is red instead of green. Yeah, green tends to be the standard color for the Yoshis. Meanwhile, this red one has some interesting properties. What I would like to do is be able to get back up and showcase what we could do with this guy, but... Ow! Man, we were very close to doing that. Yeah, we don't have much time here, but... just know that you can get a baby Yoshi here. Sadly, if we take that thing through the... level gate, it just gets turned into a 1-up. But... no way, we'll have a lot of time to talk about baby Yoshis as we go forward, because they are a very cool mechanic in this game. And we are not doing very good on those 1-up bonuses. Given how things are going to be, I'm thinking that the rest of the session might just be in Star World as we're trying to clear things up here. So, at the very least, we are getting closer to wrapping things up in our Super Mario World journey. It's just at this rate, I'm kind of thinking about what needs to be done left in this game, and yeah. Oh, there it is. Secret exit is just very close to the start there. Yep, grab that key, and you're able to access this pathway here. So course leads to the Star Road in Vanilla Dome. Requires getting a few secret exits in order to reach that one, so it can be a little tricky to get to. Let's hop into Star World 2. Right off the bat, you'll want to grab that to make you invincible. And we got another Baby Yoshi here. So, this is a mechanic I wanted to go into a bit more of when we first got this thing, but obviously couldn't access all of the mechanics we could do with the Baby Yoshi in that first area. But here we got a new one that turned into a blue Yoshi. So what you want to do with Baby Yoshis is that you need to feed them items. You want to feed them either items or enemies. For every enemy that you're able to get the Baby Yoshi to eat, you want to eat about 5 of them. And then that will cause the Baby Yoshi to mature into an adult Yoshi. And obviously, holding the Yoshi is pretty similar to holding any other item. So, it will cause you to not be able to use certain other features. But yeah, this level is pretty simple, all things considered. Your main hazards here are just the enemies, and it's mainly an area built to give you access to this Yoshi. Especially because this color of Yoshi is very, very cool, and just overall just a great Yoshi to have. So, let's go a bit more into the colors on the Yoshis, because every Yoshi color has special properties to them. So, in the base game, whenever we had Yoshi, so Yoshi is able to have special abilities depending on what shell he swallows. So swallowing a red shell lets him spit fireballs, eating a blue shell gives him wings, and eating a yellow shell would get him eating a yellow shell will make Yoshi create a shockwave when he hits the ground that can damage enemies. So, but that is only for the normal green Yoshi. Because when you have the Yoshis of other colors, they're able to access the attributes of the shells regardless of what color they are based on... Well, basically, they're able to tap into the power of whatever the color they are, as well as what the shell is. So, if our Yoshi is able to eat just a regular green shell, he's able to sprout wings. And yep, that is a very awesome mechanic. It's also nice that they have these secret levels be the way you're able to access these Yoshis, because otherwise you're only able to find green Yoshis in the main game. But in the Star World, you're able to find the colored Yoshis, which give you all these abilities. So already taken one of the exits in this area. We want to take our Yoshi over here on this low path, which has the secret exit for us. And that's everything to do in Star World 2. Basically, that level is just so that you can grab a blue Yoshi, because it's easily one of the best Yoshis in the game. And by doing that, we're able to unlock the Star Road over here, which requires beating Soda Lake in order to get to. One of the more elusive pathways, but one that is definitely worth it. Now to move on to Star World 3. Oh yeah, this area. So I believe that egg there would have hatched into a yellow Yoshi, which as you would expect gives you the yellow Yoshi attributes. This level is going to be a bit tricky. We have this Lakitu here, and we want to, not do that. Why did I even do that? We have just the normal exit right here. So I guess the very least we should get this Yoshi leveled up. We just have it eat these silver coins. We should be able to get it fully grown anyway. But yeah, yellow Yoshi will be able to make shock waves whenever it touches the ground if it has a shell. In fact, it should be able to make the shock waves... Actually, no. Yeah, it needs a shell in order to do that. Sorry, I was being kind of stupid. But yeah, that's a very short level, all things considered. Pretty much only exists to be able to give you this. Pretty much just in order to give you yellow Yoshi. Alright, now what I want to do here is use one of these blue blocks to hit this Lakitu so that we're able to steal his cloud. Really? Up, there we go. Up. Sorry, Yoshi. Bye, don't need you. And want to ride this cloud up here. You're try to get to this secret if you have other means like the cape, but pretty much the Lakitu cloud is your best way in order to get that secret. And yeah, I just kind of wasted another Yoshi. I'm just terrible at holding on to these things. But doing that unlocks the pathway to this Star Road that you'd normally be able to get to by beating the Forest of Illusion Fortress. Kind of an out-of-the-way pathway. But here in Star World 4, alright, this is one of the more interesting levels. It's definitely going to be one of the harder ones we have seen here in the Star World. It's got a lot of platforms here, a lot of Koopas to deal with, and we gotta try to grow our little red Yoshi here so he gets all big and strong. If we can get just one more Koopa, I think that would get him mature enough. There he goes! So the red Yoshi obviously gives you the ability to spit fireballs with any shell he has, as well as other abilities. It's not really the best of the Yoshis, although I do like his color scheme. It matches Mario very nicely. But besides that, it's just kind of a standard run-of-the-mill Yoshi, regardless. Can we get this guy back? Thank you. Yeah, he is really good at taking out the enemies, though. And we'll go into some of these secrets we could... I freaking lost, like, every Yoshi I've managed to get, and... yeah, this is definitely something. I'm losing, like, every Yoshi I've ever managed to get here. Oh yeah, also you may have noticed, no checkpoints. I'm pretty sure all of these bonus levels do not have checkpoints, so good luck with that. If you die, you have to do the entire level over again. Come on, eat these guys, please. Just eat them up. There we go. Okay, let's wait for them to go up. There we go. So yeah, you can really see just some of the benefits there are to doing these Star World levels before finishing up the main game. Because you're able to do so much with them. Like, with this red Yoshi, we're just easily able to fly now, since we got that blue shell here. We can pass over just a lot of stuff. And we should be pretty good if we can just eat another Koopa. This one specifically want to get. Can we circle around? There we go. It's very nervous about trying to get that one, but we got him. And that is how we get the normal path in that level. It's really not too bad. Some of the platforming challenges can be a little risky, but with the Yoshi here, they give you all the tools you need to be able to beat that level. And it's another way you're able to get a red Yoshi in this area. But how about the main... well, we took out the main path, but there's still the secret exit in this area. Whoop, bye Yoshi. I seriously cannot hold on to these frickin' Yoshis to save my goddamn life. What is wrong with me? Oh no. I can tell you what is right with me is the fact that I currently have a day off, because it is Good Friday here in Canada. So, pretty much just the first Friday before Easter, we have a day off, which is very good for me because I've been doing so much work at my job over the last couple of days, and I desperately needed a break, so I am been very thankful for that. Alright, now, what we want to do here, scenario you could do if you have one of the, if you're pretty good at using the wing Yoshi, you're able to get this pretty easily without getting the Switch Palaces. But it's highly recommended that you do the green and red Switch Palaces before that level so you can get to that secret easily. And that unlocks the pathway to Star Road number 5, obviously. Yep, that gives you the Star Road right before Bowser. So unlocking that can give you just a quick shortcut right to the end of the game. That's not all we're able to do here as we go into Star World 5. This is probably going to be one of the trickier levels for us to go through, especially when it comes to getting every possible exit in this area. P-switch there. And there's a path of coins we can make. It's pretty much just like the coin snake that we saw much earlier on in the game. Just want to ride this over here. Let's get over this way. There's a lot of tricky platforms there. Yeah, we got over here. We got a yellow Yoshi, being one of the other levels we can get this from. And just quickly get this guy grown up back into an adult Yoshi. So now for this part, just got a couple more platforms to do before the end here. I guess I can show off Yoshi's shockwave abilities. Yeah, that kills every enemy within a close vicinity to it, which can be helpful, all things considered. Not really the best of the Yoshi abilities. Obviously, flight is so much more useful. But, you know, still a nice little treat. And clearing that level will actually give us access back to the original Star Road point. However, there's still a secret exit we can get here. So let us go and take it and see if we're able to... Well, bye Yoshi. Yeah, I kind of panicked there and hit the jump to try to save my own skin. Sorry Yoshi, that's just kind of how it be sometimes. For this coin snake, want to try to see if I can input this so that it goes at a high elevation. What I have planned. Alright, and let's see where this takes me. Oh, this thing is like really up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not gonna be good. No bueno. Wow, really? Okay. So I know this area can be a little tricky to do depending on whether or not you have certain things. But I believe it is doable if we just jump into this level raw. Now let's just have that coin snake go a bit. If we just stand here and just let it go to the right, it should be fine enough to fill in the space we need to complete this area. Alright, let's go forward. There are a few of these Koopas we still need to deal with, but it shouldn't be too bad. Okay, now I see the thing I was supposed to do up there. Alright, so that is kind of on me now. So yeah, if we're gonna get the secret exit in this area, it's gonna require some very tight jumps in order to do things. And sadly, I don't think there are any blue Koopas we could benefit from. Alright, I think there is one thing we could do that could make things a bit easier here and not have to make it so that we have to get, like, really crafty with the Actually, no, I want to see if I can get this the intended way. Because it honestly isn't too bad to do it this way. Just a little tricky if you don't get the right timing, but thinking... Oh, look at that! We really messed up there, didn't we? Oh boy, we did not do that the intended way, obviously. Let me see if we can redo that. This level really is kinda tricky. If you're trying to do this the intended way, by Yoshi, it can be a little messy. Okay. Let's do that. Let's raise you up a little bit, then have you go to the right. So I want to make sure this thing just goes over the top of the screen, and then if it just keeps going to the right, that should be able to give us the path we need. Right, hit that P switch to turn those into solid blocks. And just want to rush on over. Whoa! Okay, why is this so much trouble for me? Nope. That was really funny, the way I just kicked the Yoshi and it just looked like he was in so much pain. So yeah, I'm thinking we could try something else. Alright, just want to try something else before I try to do the cheese method for this level. Because obviously there are some ways to get through this level that are a lot easier than others, and we have all the tools to make that magic happen. Alright, let's hit that right away. See if we can get this guy over. It's probably not going to work the way I want it to. Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't... Part of me wants to say that the intended way you're supposed to do that is to use the snake coins. But screw it, I have been doing this for so long. So let's do this my method, aka the best way of doing this. You want to grab the blue Yoshi, grab this baby, and then hop out of the level. Then want to head back into Star World 5, and all we have to do now is eat a Koopa. Give me a second. I am so out of practice when it comes to the Star World levels, which also doesn't have me very enthusiastic about some of the things. Okay, that's a nice little secret there. If you have Yoshi eat the Starman, he will automatically grow up into an adult. That's nice. Alright, how about we try to eat a Koopa in a less high-stakes environment? There... No! Yoshi, why? I am so awful at this right now. Let me tell you, I wanted this Let's Play to be a very informative stream series about this game, and it's certainly been very informative for me about how terrible I am at this. It's like my favorite game of all time, yet I'm constantly screwing up right now. At least I shouldn't give myself too much shit about this. I mean, we did go through the rest of the game relatively smoothly, so it's fine that we're having a few little mess-ups here and there. But yeah, what we want to do is have our blue Yoshi grab just any Koopa in this area and want to fly. Up here, yep, there it is. We have this area here with all the... sadly, it looks like we're gonna have to bail on Yoshi at this point. Unless we can, like, slide in a certain way. No, looks like we're gonna have to abandon you. So around here is that key and that keyhole. So yep, that is the secret path in the Star World 5 that unlocks a new Star Road. Just want to hop in there, and welcome to the Special World. This is the final world of the game, and the last of the main secrets in our adventure. So after here, we have the remaining levels, and then that'll be it. Yeah, given how much time we have left, I think we have enough time to go through the rest of the levels and just finish things here. I was a little nervous about how things would be, but as long as our connection is stable, we should be able to finish things off here. So let's head into the first of the special levels. Gnarly! Yeah, instead of being numbered, these levels are special. Amazing! Few have made it this far. Beyond lies the Special Zone. Complete it, and you can explore a strange new world. Good luck! So yeah, the special levels are quite unique in that each one are not numbered. Instead, they have a funny little subtitle. Oh, that is obviously based on this radical slang that was all popular back in the day. Especially in the time frame that this game was originally released back in the 90s. So, it's all in good fun, just a fun little a thing to help make everything just come together at the end. Yeah, this area is quite fun, even though we missed, like, everything down there. Yeah, I want to take this pipe here, and... Alright, that gives us these to go through. Alright, just hit that hammer, bro, and want to jump up here. Hello there, you. And there's the exit. Yeah, it's not a bad level, all things considered. And we get ourselves a bonus game. Treasure it while you can, because it's probably going to be one of the last times we see the bonus levels here. Well, the bonus games, I mean. Whew, we were very close to actually messing that up, but we got another thing there. Good. So we're definitely going to need all these lives as we go forward. So yeah, you can obviously expect the levels in the special stages are going to get harder from here. In fact, as a kid, I never got to the special world, and this was something I only found out about in my later years about, and yeah, it's definitely something. Let's head into the next level, Tubular. Oh boy, this one. So, of all the levels in this game, this one is usually considered by many to be one of the hardest in the game. Because we got this mechanic again, the P-Balloon. And yeah, this is going to be the main gimmick of this area, using the balloon in order to traverse the level. Which is kind of interesting, basing like a whole level in the special world to this one mechanic. But I guess it's fitting as like one of the final main challenges. And yeah, just like the Star World, this area does not have checkpoints. So you have to go through everything in one attempt. Good luck with that. Gotta be really careful here, because this guy's baseballs could really mess you up. Just gotta be really careful going through here, because obviously you can run out of air, and then makes it pretty tricky. Yeah. There's a lot of hazards you have to go through in this level. This is generally considered one of the hardest levels in this entire section of the game. If not the hardest level in Mario World. Which, yeah, I can agree with. This is a big challenge. Step up from anything we've really seen at this point. Let's grab the balloon, please. Oh, we are very close on that one. Right, let's maneuver past those fire flower. They're actually volcano lotuses, I know now. Let's hit that guy down. And is there anything in there? Oh, we're running out of air. Yeah. So we gotta be really careful and make sure we grab the right blocks in order to get these balloons. Because otherwise, we're not gonna have an easy time in this area. But yeah, you can really see why this is considered one of the hardest levels in the game. Just so many hazards for you to have to deal with. A lot of enemies, and you're under a very strict time limit given how much time you can only have in this form. It's a lot to deal with. Right, let's take care of that guy. And then we got this football player to deal with. That should have the balloon we need. There we go. And we should be good this way. There's the exit. Whew! Thank goodness. And because we finished the level with the P balloon, we got a free mushroom for that. But yep, that's a very tricky level, just full of hazards to have to deal with, and you have to spend most of it just very vulnerable. So let's hop into the next area. Way cool. So I think this level shouldn't be too bad. So we got more of these rails that we have seen before, and the return of the seldom seen fuzzies. I do like these guys, even though they're kind of creepy looking. Wouldn't really expect something like them to be like a standard Mario enemy, but they've made quite a few appearances in the series. Especially in a lot of the... RPGs. Because I know I've definitely seen a lot of them in those games. But yeah, this is going to be a tricky level to deal with. We got a lot of fuzzies, and we're just... have to go through this area, trying to make sure we don't get hit. Ooh, that was a close one. Oh, really? And you gotta be careful to make sure you're going on the right rails, otherwise you're just gonna fall off into the abyss. So yeah, it is a very tense area to go through. A lot of different pathways you can take for this area of different levels of difficulty. But yep, it's pretty good all things considered. I think we got like one last section before the end here. There's some wings, so you can get something with Yoshi if you had that available. And, okay, this section with the ropes I know is going to be really tricky. Almost makes me wish I had a tape feather now, just to completely skip, like, most of this. So that would be nice. Just being able to avoid most of the content in this area. Okay, let's get this path up. Ow. Yeah, I could definitely see a great deal of our time here being spent just dealing with all this nonsense. It's okay. So I'm kind of thinking about how things are going to go forward. If we're not able to do... we should be able to finish up this world in this session. So my intent is to try to finish things up with Mario World in this session, so you could be seeing the end of our adventure, and hopefully the start of a brand new adventure very soon. That's obviously going to require a lot of work to get this done, and especially a lot of work to see... Well, okay, that was the wrong path I need to take. There's nothing I really could have done about that, but now I know. So yeah, we'll try to finish things up in this session. So things are going to obviously be a lot... so if we're finishing things up in this session, it's going to be a bit of a longer session than our other... It's going to be a bit longer than the previous sessions we've had this game, provided that our connection is able to remain stable. It has been pretty good the last 40 minutes, so I'm hoping that we're able to have a good finale here. But yeah, as for other stuff, I really don't have too much I want to go over. Not a whole lot of things have really changed for me in the last couple of weeks since our last session. It's been mainly just me trying to survive as we keep going on this crazy journey we call life, and just trying to survive a lot of things, especially in this pandemic, which obviously has been pretty stressful on, like, everybody involved. But hopefully we'll be seeing the end of it soon. Oh, God damn it. The worst part about this, because the lack of checkpoints, I have to redo, like, so much if I mess up. But yeah, we are steadily getting to the end of this pandemic, hopefully. Which I'm certainly gonna be hopeful for, because, man, the thing's been interesting. Especially because our province had lifted a lot of COVID restrictions, and really don't know how to feel too much about this because of certain people's mindsets thinking like, oh, we are, obviously done with the pandemic now if they're lifting things, and like, no. Nothing is really gonna be better unless we all pitch in and manage to fight off this virus, and it's just been a really awkward time for everybody. Hopefully sometime in the future things will be a lot better, and hopefully we will genuinely see the end of this plague very soon. Why do I keep hitting that? There's nothing in there I can use. This part's gonna be really tricky because of the fuzzies. Ow! God damn! If I could just hold on to that one mushroom, it would be so much easier for me to get through this point. So I could have another hit point. Alright, I know where we get the mushroom from, so it shouldn't be too hard. Do this. Unless I can take this path instead, which won't give me a mushroom. Let's take a lower path here. Ow. Boy, this level is definitely being something. I guess I could talk about some other neat stuff lately. Like, I had actually gotten a new printer a few days ago. It's kind of not really feeling really positive about the printer that I had for, let's face it, quite a long time, so I was hoping to get a replacement to it, and thankfully I was able to get one at a good deal. So I have my new printer. It's very nice. I'm also able to scan with it, so it's all good for my artwork projects. Can I just say that these frickin' rope mechanics are just so Not too big of a fan of the levels where you don't have a lot of control over your actions, and your progression through the level is completely based around... Well, we're not going to get that mushroom now. Just the way that the progression, you don't have a lot of control over, and you're forced to just kind of deal with the progression in the actual level, and have all that and guide you through. A little annoying. This level's really grinding my gears. Wow, how did I avoid that? Come on, let me hit you. Ooh, I'm not feeling too keen about this one now. So I think I want to hit that. Okay, that gives us the path forward. Whew! that was close. Okay, now we just need to hopefully not mess this up. Really? It's also kind of awkward for me because the control I'm using, I'm mainly using the control stick, so be a little awkward to actually hit up on this thing and get to use the rope. But, you know, it's just how it is. This level definitely stretching my patience here. And these fuzzies, man. Ugh. It's definitely a level where I would just love to be able to absolutely cheese it with the cape feather. It's so good right now. I could go to the secret area and try to pick up some power-ups, but at the same time, that kind of lose the charm of this game and just not being able to take on the challenges head-on. At the same time, just look at what I'm dealing with here. So many enemies, so many hazards. It's a very vicious area. But guess on some stuff I could also mention. Just some kind of other stuff I wanted to talk about based on some stuff I did the last couple of... I'll gladly take the hit if it means I can just avoid that. And we still got more to do. Hang on. Should be close to the end here. Oh, god damn it, I hate these! Why is this level like this? I'm seriously tempted to go grab some power-ups to make this a lot easier. But while we're back on this, there's some stuff I want to talk about that I didn't have a chance to say in my previous sessions. So last week, I was playing a lot more of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Obviously mentioned this in some of my previous stream sessions, but yeah. Doing a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles, and we got some really good progress into the game in that week. So I'm very excited to get to see, hopefully, the end of that particular game very soon. As I am really excited to eventually get into Xenoblade 3 later this year. I'm sure that's going to be a good time. It's obviously got a lot of hype behind this game, especially with a lot of the things that it is hinting at. Well, yeah, that should be really good. Especially with a lot of the things I was able to do in Xenoblade 2. So I'm at the part of the game where a lot of side quests had opened up for quite a few different things, especially with some of the new characters I was able to obtain. Like, I finished up the quest of one of the characters I had for a little while. Her name is Ursula, and she has an interesting quest involving her that I'm very thankful is over and I don't have to worry about doing until I'm insane enough to do another playthrough of the game, which hopefully I don't. When I do go back to doing a full playthrough of Xenoblade 2, it'll definitely be a New Game Plus, so I don't have to worry too much about that. But I'm not here to worry about any of that. I'm here to play some Mario. Ugh! It's always that one that gives me trouble. Just not a whole lot of room on this rope we can cling to. I gotta be more careful about the paths we take here to try to get the power-ups we need. Alright, if I'm not able to beat this level in a few minutes, I'm thinking we might have to take a break. And then I can see if I can do this level and some of the other ones at a later date. Really hate not being able to hold on to my power-ups right now. This level's just, easily one of the most irritating I've had to deal with in this game so far. I love this game, but it's far from perfect. That was close. Okay, gotta be careful here. I'm gonna be a bit silent here just to concentrate. Damn it! Ugh! That last part is so brutal. Okay, we're back at this part. What else to talk about? So I guess something I could say is I've been checking out a few new reaction channels these days. One in particular I believe is called The Duck Goes Moo. And yeah, it's an interesting little reaction channel. This guy's been covering like a lot of different media so far, especially in things that I am personally interested in myself. Has been doing some reactions to Death Battle and to some Jaden animation videos, so it's a lot of nice content he's been making. I definitely approve a lot of the stuff he's been reacting to. So yep, that's a nice... Really wish I had more health for this next part. So yeah, it's a nice channel I've been checking out, and hopefully to see a bit more in the future. Come on! Come on, come on, come on, come on! There we go! Finally finished! Oh boy, that level was a nightmare. And the fact that I was so close to the end there. If I may quote Charlie from Smiling Friends right now, "Oh, we were right there, man!" But anyway, I'm feeling awesome. Let's hop into awesome. Oh, not awesome, not awesome! Yeah, right off the bat, they throw a freaking invincible Koopa at you, because of course they do. So we got an icy area here, pretty much like the icy caves that we would occasionally see throughout the game, which an aesthetic that doesn't really get utilized too much. It's a shame, I like the aesthetic. Yeah, this area is definitely going to be tricky. In terms of layout, this area definitely reminds me of some Super Mario Bros. 3 levels. Which, I don't know how most people feel about that, but it's an aesthetic I can get behind. Really wish I had more health at this part. Yeah, this area is definitely tricky. Got a lot of Koopas kicking their shells at you, which can be a pain to deal with. Yeah, those are definitely pretty nuts. Yeah, this area really isn't too bad compared to what we had to deal with before. Definitely feels like we have a lot more control over the pace of this level this time. One of your main issues here, obviously, is the fact that everything is slippery, so we got that to worry about. Besides that, it's really not too bad. So I guess some other things I could talk about during this level. For whatever reason, lately, I have been in a big Robin Hood kick. Like, specifically talking about Disney's Robin Hood. That movie, I used to watch a ton of as a kid. I really... Ow. Hey, Bonsai Bill, could you not do that? I really liked that movie as a kid, and nowadays, I still have some affection towards it. It's a very charming movie, even if a lot of people point out it reused a ton of animation. But hey, Disney has to cut costs at some point, especially with the particular era that movie was released in. And overall, I don't mind it too much. It gives a certain charm to the movie that I still really like. Especially with a lot of characters moving in a particular way that is either similar to what they moved in a previous scene of the movie, or they are just taken completely from another Disney movie, you know? Alright, now that we got that star, we should have an easier time going through here. I remember this section being really tricky to deal with. Even the pipes are iced over, which can make getting through here a challenge. Yeah, luckily in this area, you are able to get some good power-ups here, so don't need to worry too much about backtracking to another level. So I think we should be able to have a relatively good time getting through here. But yeah, I've just been kind of on a Robin Hood kick lately, especially because of a certain YouTube poop that came out, I want to say about a month ago, that is just insane. Like, this freaking YouTube poop, man, it's definitely been something that's been on my mind lately. So, a good chunk of it is obviously Robin Hood based, and man, this freaking stuff this person put into it is just so flippin' insane. Like, the opening to the YouTube poop is a reenactment of a scene from the movie Joker involving the Sheriff of Nottingham and Friar Tuck, and just my description of it can't do it justice. You have to see it in order to believe what is going on. It's just so crazy, and I love it. But yeah, really? Probably weren't expecting to hear someone talk about YouTube poops in this day and age, but I don't know, it's something that I've always had an affinity towards. It's been very fun parody videos of stuff. And can we get that bonsai build to go through, please? Yeah, a lot of fish in this area. So I said that previous area gave me a lot of Mario Bros. 3 flashbacks. This gave me a lot of Mario Bros. 1 flashbacks with all of the cheat sheets leaping at you. Yeah, this level certainly is awesome in what they're able to get away with here. So many flippin' hazards coming at me at all angles. It can be a little overwhelming at points, but I don't know. I don't think it's as bad as some of the other things we've had to deal with. Can we grab this mushroom, please? Please, please, please. Yes. Aha. Ow. Cut that out. Yeah, I have been really, I don't know, lately I've been thinking about some of the other stuff I want to play lately, because I still haven't picked up Mario Kart 8, given that game has a very good update to it, and I'd really like to get into that, because I've only had the Nintendo Wii U version of that game for the longest time. And I'd really like to get into the new version, because it has so much new added content to it. And yeah, it's just something I'm really looking forward to, especially for being able to play with friends. I've also been thinking about trying to finish up some more things. Like, obviously I've been doing Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I want to try to get some more of my Animal Crossing Museum filled in, and ow, did you cut that out, buddy? Ow! God, slippery platform just keep getting me. And obviously I'd like to go back to do some more Final Fantasy VI as well. That's a game I definitely want to get some more progress in. I'm actually very close to one of the big plot moments of the game. But before I do that, I want to try to get as many of the alternate abilities on some of my other characters as I can get. Because I've gotten a lot of characters at this point that have special skills they're able to use, and I'd very much like to be able to grab a bunch of those skills before we charge into the next chunk of the game, because, oh boy, are things in that game going to get crazy going forward. Ugh. I know I could be using save states at this point, but I want to have as much legit of a run of this game as possible, which means every failure counts, as became very apparent all throughout this game. Wow, can we just get on here? Yeah, in terms of some other stuff I want to do, we obviously got my stream plans for what's going to be happening for the rest of this month and what's happening in the rest of these months. Especially what's coming up. So one of the things I'm very much looking forward to is there's a new update coming to the game Bug Snacks at the end of April I'm very much looking forward to. So if you don't know, I had previously streamed the main story of Bug Snacks for quite a while in one of my previous stream series, and I've been very much looking forward to getting into the new careful. So if I run into that guy with my invincibility, that is game over. Well, careful. We are done with awesome. Whew, that level was a tough one. We're on there for quite a while. But yeah, new Bug Snacks update is coming up, which means I'm actually going to be returning to streaming that game at some point this year. That's actually one of the plans I had going forward, especially with some things coming up. I obviously have some plans on what I'm going to be doing for the remainder of the year on this channel. And yeah, after I get done with the next game I'm going to be doing after Mario World, we'll definitely want to hop back into Bug Snacks, because I can't wait. So the game's also coming to Steam, so I might actually purchase the Steam version and then continue my Let's Play from that version of the game. I don't know. I did like playing the game over the Epic Games Store, but I've been a much bigger supporter of Steam than I have been for Epic Games, so definitely want to try to support it on that platform. But now that we're done with that level, time to move on to Groovy! This area should seem very familiar to you, because we always started off Super Mario World with this area. So this is actually this level is actually the opening of Super Mario World. Just the scene where you have Mario going around with Yoshi dealing with enemies on the title screen. That's where this part is from. And this area also introduces some enemies that we could have seen much earlier on in the adventure, but we never really got a chance to. Pokies. These are pretty much just big cactus enemies that will all just try to mess with you. They are pretty durable, not being affected by much of anything. Besides Yoshi. Yoshi can easily eat the Poke segments, just easily take care of these guys. But besides that, there's not a whole lot you're able to do to them. Ow! So yeah, this level, it really isn't too bad. There are a lot of different enemies here, but I shouldn't have too much trouble handling this. Especially because, hey, hit that block, give me my Yoshi. Time to reenact the opening and just deal with these boos. An interesting thing about the Pokies that if you have Yoshi, the Pokies will extend and have more segments to their bodies, which is interesting. Not really the most important thing, or even the most dangerous, but it is there. Since we have Yoshi and the cape, how about we take advantage of this new boon? Just fly over these foos. Alright, we were able to do pretty good there. If we had more space, I would like to fly again. But the best we can do right now is glide. Alright, let's fly up again. And just pass by most of these foos. Oh, Yoshi! Well, Yoshi's just gonna run on ahead. Bye, buddy. So that's Groovy taken care of. Very fitting that this level is actually named that, because very recently, one of my favorite games of my childhood, Earthworm Jim 2, was recently released on the Nintendo Switch Online service, which is cool. Speaking of which, we got the next level, Mondo. That's right, fools. Mondo cool. So this level is interesting. We got a hybrid of a land area and a water area. And this level is just interesting to deal with the amount of hazards there are here, obviously. The Cheeps and Hammer Bros here, which are definitely going to make things tricky to deal with. Yep, this area is going to be interesting. Yeah, with your controls being just altered by the water, it definitely makes things a little awkward here. Also doesn't help that there's actually a water current that also pushes you back. So yeah, this level's a bit tricky to deal with. Ow. Man, like, had no problem dealing with Hammer Brothers before this level. Then the game just suddenly like, lol, I'm gonna restrict your movements so bad that you'll never be able to eat lunch in this town again. Can we please jump up there? Yeah, never mind. And of course the Cheep Cheeps, because they're in the water, you can't jump on their heads, even though it looks like you obviously should be able to. As I said that the levels in this area were hard, that doesn't necessarily mean they're great. Sadly, one of the things I have involved in this game is... Oh yeah, there are some points where the water level can actually raise, and that's one of them, to help you get to that block. And then the water level goes down here. I can actually take care of the Cheep Cheeps now, which is good. Just jump up here on these flying blocks. And then the water level should be going back up. Yeah, it's an interesting gimmick for this area. It's not necessarily a level I find myself really enjoying a whole lot, but it's there. Okay, shouldn't be too much farther to the end here. Take that, buddy. Come on, alright. Water level's lowering. Let's get through here. Okay, got that Hammer Bro taken care of, and the exit should just be over here. Sorry my commentary has been very quiet right now, but these levels are really tough. I need my concentration right now. Alright, with that done, we got next level, Outrageous! Oh yeah, this area. We got the return of Wigglers, and a new enemy here. I guess you could call it an enemy. Although, these things haven't really been mentioned at all in the game. It's the first time we're seeing these things. So I believe these are fire snakes. They're actually an enemy back from Super Mario Bros. 3. And yeah, they can be a little tricky to deal with. Obviously made of fire, so you can't do anything to really touch them. So be careful with that. And of course we got a lot of bullet bills here as well to deal with. This area is very tricky to deal with. There's a lot of hazards here, a lot of enemies. It's definitely going to be one of the harder levels to get through. I do like the kind of quieter, autumn-like aesthetic to this area. It's almost like we've been at this game for so long, we are now in like mid-November with how dark and dreary everything has gotten. I like that aesthetic. I can also jump on the bullet bills to give you some elevation if you need it. I definitely appreciate it. Could you fire, please? Thank you. Ah, fire snake really screwed me over there. Ow! And the bullet bill got me from behind the tree. So the kind of problem here is that the trees in the foreground can cover where the bullet bills are actually firing from. So it can leave you a little bit kerfuddled here. That is definitely one of the main hazards of this level, just not being able to know where exactly things are in the level, and that messing with your point of view. What was that about? Oh, I think I hear my brother actually be coming back with his friends. So hopefully that doesn't interrupt the stream going forward. Alright, can we get over there? Thank you. At this point, we're gonna have to actually bounce off a bullet bill to get across. Can I get you to fire that, please? Buddy? Oh, now you fire. Hello? Come on. This part's really tricky. Okay. This is really getting to me. So I need this blaster to... Ow. Gods, I wish I had the Cape Feather right now. This level is... something. So I remember, like, even from my previous playthroughs, this level would always give me trouble. Especially because a good chunk of it requires you using the bullet bills in order to progress forward, and sometimes this doesn't work. I guess we could also carry this forward in the level. I need you to fire that again. Yeah, if we can carry the spring to that section, we should be able to also get past. Alright, we have the spring. It should help us get over. There we go. And we got another hammer, bro. We should be almost done the level now. Oh, goody, we got some more enemies here. Fire Snake, I really don't like you being here. We could use the Goombas to deal with those. So I believe that later games retcon that variety of Goomba into being a new enemy called a Galoomba, which kind of operate the same way as the Goombas in this game tend to be. Where if you hit them, they get stunned temporarily, and then you can use them as a projectile to deal with enemies. Besides that, they're not too bad. And we should be just about done here. Oh, Yoshi! Now I have to go all the way for this level again. God, that last part is really tricky. Definitely want to try to get rid of the Wiggler at the bottom next time we go through this section. I've also been thinking about some other stuff I want to do on the channel that would be good to cover. There's a lot of games I would really like to play, especially given my current library and a lot of my interests these days. We'll get to that a bit later. Oh, that was close. Very much appreciate that. There we go. Whew, that was tricky. Really wish I had a power-up here. We might be able to grab another one. Ooh, that was close. That was close. Yoshi, please deliver us to the promised land. Eat you. And take that guy out. Let's get over here. There should be something in these bricks we can use. Yep, I'll take that. I'll take that. That's good. Really good. Oh, Yoshi! Come on. Really don't want to take too many risks right now. We are very, very weak. Alright, let's eat you. Take you out. And we should be at the end here. There we go. Alright, that is the second to last level in the game. So now that's done, it's time for the grand finale here. Funky! Let's get funky! It's the main gimmick of this area. The time limit is very low, so we want to get through here as quickly as we can. Yoshi, bail. Sorry about that, bud, but I have other priorities right now, and you are not one of them. Would you please frick off, buddy? Ow! Goddamn. But yeah, this level is definitely something. With the shorter time limit, just kind of want to get through here as quickly as you can. Also got Sumo Bros to deal with here, obviously. You know, with how many freaking blue shells there are here, they could have used Yoshi to just easily skip a good chunk of things. Can we grab a shell from here? Really? Really? That was weird. Hey, buddy, I need to take you out. There's power up there. Good. Ow. Alright, could you guys just frick off already? Can't do anything about that, can we? This makes thing really awkward for us. There's nothing we can really do because we don't have a power-up. The best I can see is us somehow getting to bounce off those. You just run up on the note blocks, we'd be able to. Yeah. But yeah. That is tricky. I feel like our best bet is to be Big Mario so that we can spin jump into those one blocks in order to get past that. That's real tricky. Alright, can we actually do this, please? Okay, but Yoshi's up there, so we can't grab him. Thanks, game, for being oh so wonderful to me. Die, please. This section is going to be the death of me. How about we carry this for a little bit? Because I don't really see us using it a whole bunch. Let's get past this guy. And I think we are close to the home stretch here. Just gotta be careful of those blocks. And another sumo to worry about. Is there anything in there? Anything in there? No. Okay, we should be pretty close to the end now. Just totally bonk that guy because I don't care. Ow! That was close, that was close. We're running out of time here. Ow. Just got knocked in the face with a baseball. Yeah, this level's nuts. It is very, very nuts. Seriously, how am I supposed to get the Yoshi up there? It's like, no way I can do that. Yep, fire. Sumo Bro got me there. Pretty awkward. Yeah, this level is just really painful to try to get through. So the time limit, the amount of enemies they push into here, it's really tricky to have to get through. I guess something else I could mention. Hang on, wanted to see if this can actually work or something. Yeah, I think this will work. There we go. That's how we get Yoshi here. No, I needed their blue shells. No, Yoshi, we messed up. Okay, hope those guys respawn. If not, this could get tricky. Obviously can't eat the sumos. Oh, we're able to use cheese strats to get that. Alright, now we gotta hurry out of here as quickly as we can. Well, how were we able to survive that? I do not know. Nothing there. So I think one of the secrets in this area, see that green fruit here? I think if you have Yoshi eat all the green fruit, you do get something. Maybe a power-up, maybe something else. But regardless of that, we are almost at the end here. Let's try to get here as quickly as we can. Alright, just run past these guys. Don't deal with their things, and you are a super player! And like that, we have finished the very last level in Super Mario World. It's been a long, very painful journey, but we're all done. Save your game, and let's take the final Star Road. We're back in Yoshi's Island, but not the Yoshi's Island we knew before. So one of the interesting things that happens is after you clear all the levels in the special world and take that pathway here, we completely changed the aesthetic of the map. So it's got this very weird color palette to it, especially in the levels as well. So pretty much the entire game has been remixed with this new color palette. And there are also a few interesting changes here I want to show off. Namely in this level, Yoshi's Island 2. As there have also been a few changes to some of the enemies we can see here. So, you can see here that Koopa Troopas, instead of having their shells, are now wearing Mario masks. Yeah, that's just kind of an interesting thing that happens now that we have cleared the game and done the special world. So yeah, besides that, a whole lot hasn't really changed. The game is still the same as it was before. We just have a few aesthetic changes in some of mainly the map. Not really the levels itself, because nothing here really screams anything new and changed. But yeah, some enemies are a little different, but not too many. And, oh, that is something. Jumping piranha plants are now jack-o'-lanterns. Yep, so there's that. I guess it's meant to give the levels kind of a more Halloween feel to them, which is a pretty cool aesthetic that I totally dig, obviously. Oh no, it still makes things a little weird compared to the base game. But yeah, if you want to go for the entire game like this, you are more than able to. Especially for the novelty of it. But as for me, it's nothing I really want to check out there. So with one final crossing of the level gate, this is where our journey ends. Yeah, this has been a wild ride, all things considered. Getting to go through this game with all the ups and downs that goes with it, it was still a fun adventure. I really love this game, and getting to go through it again and share my experiences with it has been a blast. And I'm really looking forward to all the new adventures that we're going to go on as we progress ever onward through this year, and hopefully to the end of this pandemic. So thank you for accompanying me on this journey through Super Mario World. Next time, we will be waking to a brand new adventure with a familiar face if you have been a longtime viewer of this channel. Until next time, have a good day, and take care.